morning, everyone. My name is Lisandro Campos, and I'm accompanied by my group mates, Michael Tran, Liliana Enriquez, and Margarita Torres. And before we get started today, I'd like to share a couple of thoughts while we were researching this. Now, out in the marketplace, there's a lot of harmful products, right? So some are harder to discern from others. The obvious ones like gasoline, long-term exposure to that, yeah, it's carcinogenic, same thing with paint fumes and stuff like that, but this one caught me by surprise. Could you go to the next slide? We're doing our research on Johnson & Johnson's baby powder, the talcum based, and we titled it the cancer cover-up because evidently they did try to cover it up, which we'll touch on that here in a second. Next slide, please. Here's what's going on in the world. These are the kind of headlines that Johnson & Johnson are making right now. Reuters, New York Post, Time, these aren't just blogs, these are real news reporting agencies, and each one correlates to the part of our presentation. So to start off here, the $72 million that was awarded to the son of Jacqueline Fox, which was the woman affected with cancer because of the product of Johnson & Johnson. That one is going to be covered here in a second, and then there's also the one from Deanberg, which is she refused a $1 million settlement from Johnson & Johnson because she didn't want to sign a confidentiality agreement. And then in the future, Johnson & Johnson, the tip of the toxic iceberg. This is the direction that Johnson & Johnson's headed right now. So up next is the timeline, and I'd like to focus a little bit on the 70s before we get caught up to speed where we are today. Now, in 1970 was around the time they had the cornstarch line of talcum powder. But unfortunately, the talcum powder and the cornstarch line are both still being sold side by side, no labels, no warning, no recalls, nothing. So it's still out in the market. And in 71, there was a British study that examined 13 tumors, ovarian tumors, and in 10 of them, they found talcum powder in them. And up ahead in 2007 is when Deanberg was diagnosed with cancer, and in 2012, Ms. Jacqueline Fox was diagnosed, and in 2013, Mrs. Berg refused a settlement, and in 2015, Jacqueline Fox passed away, and in February recently was where I said earlier, the $72 million with her son. Up next. Today's position, where they're at right now, there's more cases of litigation being pursued against Johnson & Johnson. They have yet to put out a message about the carcinogenic product, and they also conspired to hide the truth from the public. So up next, I'd like to pass on the floor to Mr. Tran, which will elaborate on Mrs. Berg.
On March 2nd, 2016, Mrs. Deanberg, who is a physician assistant from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, has finally revealed her tragic story to the public. She had an interview with Jane Riley from the New York Post. She also explained that in her interview that she been using the product and she's been trusting Johnson & Johnson for a long time now. She's been actually using the product since she was 18. She says she does it on a daily routine every morning. She was really shocked and surprised to find out that the baby powder had talcum in it, and based on research that she has found, she saw that the talcum had a slight chance risk of giving cancer. She was upset that Johnson & Johnson never posted a label onto their products saying that their products did have a risk of cancer. And in 2007, she was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. Because of her cancer, she had to go through chemotherapy treatment, which caused her a lot of suffering. She had loss of hair, loss of hearing. She experienced a lot of abdominal pain. She had nausea. She also went through a suffering in emotion. One of the good news about it is that she was in remission from her cancer, so she was able to survive from her condition. In 2013, Deanberg sued Johnson & Johnson for not warning their consumers of their products having dangerous products in them. In a court settlement, she turned down $1.3 million because she didn't want to sign a confidentiality clause, which pretty much means that Johnson & Johnson wanted to keep their stuff private. She wanted to actually expose Johnson & Johnson for what they have done, and she wanted to warn consumers and everyone else that the product does have talcum in it, and it does have a chance of giving risk of cancer, which she doesn't want anybody to experience what she has gone through. So the next case that we'll be talking about is the Fox case, which is the main case that's also involved with Johnson & Johnson. And here's Ms. Enriquez. She's about to explain the case in details.
So Jackie Fox, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2012, and her family said that she went through a lot of pain, through a lot of suffering, and through different rounds of chemotherapy. So she filed a lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson because she blamed the use of baby powder to cause her ovarian cancer. So unfortunately, in October 2015, Mrs. Fox passed away at age 62. Mrs. Fox claimed to have used the shower to shower, as you can see on the screen, and the baby's powder for more than 35 years, and she used these two products on a regular basis. When Jackie Fox passed away, her son Marvin, as you can see them together, Marvin and Jackie Fox, he took over the case as plaintiff. And the lawsuit said that her terminal ovarian cancer was caused by the use of the baby powder, like I said before. Also, the lawyer, Gary Besley, he said that Johnson & Johnson knew about the risk of their products since 1980s, but in an effort to increase their sales and make more money, they lied to the public and to regular agencies, and they did not warn consumers of the risk. On February 22nd this year, the Johnson & Johnson was found liable of fraud, negligence, and conspiracy. And Jackie Fox's family was awarded $72 million, $10 million in actual damages, and $62 million in punitive damages. So now the question is, will consumers keep buying the Johnson & Johnson's products? And Mr. Torres will talk about the future of Johnson & Johnson.
Alright, well, how does this affect the business? More lawsuits to related talcum products are expected to arise. As mentioned previously, about 1,000 similar cases are still pending nationwide related to talcum product. With that, court cases and settlement fees are expected to arise. Can you imagine 72 million times 1,000 cases? Sales are also expected to decline. Johnson & Johnson doesn't break just with its baby product, but it is part of a combined units, including baby product, skin care, and women's care. Overall, in total, bringing a combined revenue of 16 million. Those as of 2015, those 16 million represent 2.2% of their business. Of their business, totaling a combination of 72 billion as of 2015. With that being said, loyal customers are expected to lose faith in the brand. As we all know, Johnson & Johnson is a household name. Many women have grown using this product. Up to this date, everyone still uses it. Where does this leave the future to Johnson & Johnson? Well, brand distrust. As more women are aware, and men possibly, become more aware of this product, it'll be expected to be used less. I mean, if you know that talcum is a key element related to cancer, would you use it? There also is expected to be a total recall, removing all the product from the shelves, and until further notice, until potentially Johnson & Johnson goes from using from using talcum powder to potentially cornstarch, an alternative product. Johnson & Johnson is also expected to have a bad image. I mean, as stated before, there was two verdicts, two plaintiffs against Johnson & Johnson related to talcum powder and ovarian, with ovarian cancer. Another future portion of the company would be hopefully for them to reposition their brand. Before they used to target women, and up to recently with Mrs. Fox's case, they were targeting African Americans and Latinos. So that concludes our presentation.